folks, I'm back on the allotment, and what I'm going to talk about today is bulbs, spring bulbs. In this case I've got daffodils. Now you can see I've got a whole stack of these which I'd forgotten to put into the garden. Well, some I'd forgotten, some I hadn't. To be honest with you, I've found that every year it's handy to hold some back, and come February time, put them into the garden. And what this enables you to have is, if you have, like this year, we've got early flowering daffodils. Doing it this way means that we're going to have daffodils for a bit longer, because these will take a few weeks before they're out fully in flower. So that's what happens when you've left them in a shed. They're going to shoot like that. So what I suggest is, they've got to go in that way, because that's going to be the stem, and you need to bury them so the tip is just showing. So that's what I normally do, about 3 inches, folks, or bury them 3 inches put the bottom 3 inches into the soil. So if I've got my dibber here. In this case, I'm going to have to dig a hole probably up to where the metal is, which is about 4 inches actually, a bit less than that, and I'll just move it around. And I'm going to put, I've got about, I don't know how many I've got here, I've got 70 here. I'm going to put those in these beds. Might as well get some use out of them, and then what I'll do is I'll pick them as cut flowers for my mum over the next month or two. Okay, so there you are, folks. It's not too late to put them in. Folks, well, that's that little job done. I've planted 70 of the kind of what I call tall daffodils. I think they grow to about 15 inches high. What's that? 400 mil, somewhere around there. I've also found a couple of packets here what I had of the dwarf narcissi. So I think there was 40 of those. And what I've actually done with those, I've actually put them into the 2 troughs outside my polytunnel here. I've put some into one of the raised beds over there, around where the gooseberries are. And as far as the tall daffodils, they've gone into the annual bed here. And also I've got 2 beds over there with rhubarb in. I thought, well, might as well put them in there, because the daffodils are going to be out before the rhubarb. So I've put a load in there. So there's going to be quite a bit of colour coming. I must remember today to actually pick some of the daffodils what are ready. But putting these in this time now, in early February, should be next month. I should have a display. Whereas probably most of these are going to be over, which are down there in the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. So it's just a way of extending the season if you plant them later. Just keep them in a dry, coolish shed, and they'll shoot. And then you'll know when you see the shoots that you know you can put them in then. It's always worked for me. Last year I had a lovely display of tulips. They went in late in February. Everyone commented on in the tubs, and they carried on to flower right through into May. It was a beautiful display. So anyway, it's all happening, folks. On my last videos, 1 or 2 people mentioned about the adverts. And, you know, I didn't actually realise that adverts didn't appear on tablets and mobiles to the extent, they don't, basically. There might be some will appear, but a lot won't, and that's why some of you just don't see the adverts, which is a bit unfortunate for me, because I was hoping that the more viewers I'd get, the more there'd be a little flow of income to cover all my costs. Because as you know, I do grow a lot of stuff which I don't actually use myself. It's just, I just enjoy growing. over the years I have tried to get jobs in garden centres, but it's just not happened. Um, so now I like to watch everything grow. I like to sow things and just follow it through. But unfortunately, I don't often have the means to get rid of this stuff. Anyway, it's all costs, the soil and everything. But so I don't know. I'm thinking perhaps I might maybe add I might have maybe like a video once a month or something where, because I've got the ability now where I can actually charge. I don't want to go that way, but I was thinking if I put one video up once a month and then people, if they basically they pay to just watch that video, and hopefully maybe that might be the answer, where it will just bring that few pound which will help me cover all the costs of things what I grow on the allotment, and things what I could possibly try to grow, what some of you might want to see me growing. Probably won't be veg wise so much, because I've got no way of doing anything with those. Being on the allotment, everyone's got surplus veg, so it's a bit hard to know what to do with it, because we're predominantly a meat-eating family. Meat is our main food, and potatoes, and then a couple of veg from mum and dad. They don't tend to have any more than that. They can't eat anymore. Oh, excuse me, folks. So I'm not sure about that, but certainly flower-wise and what have you. It seems I missed out again last year, folks. Everyone's been getting stuff passed on to them from manufacturers and what have you, to try out. Some people, quite a few allotment, were getting hose pipes and stuff. I don't. Yeah, I suppose it's. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't get anything, folks, for free. Oh, it's a shame. God, I did. I must admit, I was being a bit cheeky, and I did actually get in touch with a few places, but they either didn't bother replying. I said, can I review your products? Or but nothing happened of it. So that's a shame. But I'll keep trying. I just want to try and make the channel, as interesting as possible, and I want to continue learning as well. And you never stop learning with gardening. Right, I am going to get a cup of tea now and a biscuit. And I guess what's the time? Yes, it's getting on. Oh, one other thing what I've done this afternoon, I've actually cleared one of my raised beds up here at the top of the plot, where I had the perennials in. I've actually potted them up. They've gone into this polytunnel, and they're all ready for the season, for me to decide what I'm going to do. I do want to clear most of those if I can, because, well, not most of them, but I'd like to have 3 of the 5 cleared, because I need somewhere to grow the beans. Last year, if you remember, I grew the French beans in the tunnel here, and it was a bit of a disaster. So this year they are going to go back outside again. What else have I got to say? I've actually ordered my what do they call it, restraining wire, is it, for the chicken wire fence. What I'm actually going to do at the top end, I'm actually going to wire it up first. I've got the post orders as well. I've got 200 metres of wire, so I've got more than enough to cover that top area, and to rewire and to repost my raspberries and my loganberry. Everything here should have enough posts and wire. I will have to add some chicken wire. I'll have to get that at a later date, and that will complete that top of my plots here. Also, I need a couple of gates, but I can't afford it at the moment. So, all right, that's it then, folks. Thanks for watching. Hello, folks. I thought I'd just show you the daffodils at home. considering while the video's all on daffodils, I thought I might as well have a little update. And you can see this is what basically the front garden looks like. So we've got the daffodils, we've got some dwarf ones coming through in these. And these front ones. We've got a variety of plants in the bed here, crocuses and polyanthus, primulas, various other ones. We've got some pansies are out. You can see that the tulips are now coming up. These are the tulips. So everything's happening. It's all going to look beautiful. The polyanthus and that didn't do that great this year. They've been a bit of a disappointment. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I've done wrong. But well, I say not done. I mean, I think it's basically in the troughs. I mean, they're all right under the apple tree on the front garden, on the back garden. They look quite nice, and I think actually we could do with doing an update on the polyanthus anyway, and the primulas. But anyway, that's what it's looking like on the front. Okay, folks, we're now at in the back garden. I thought I'd just show you what's happening. You can see in these beds here we've got a combination of pansies and we've got daffs, we've got tulips. The tulips have been buried down quite deep, so they'll come out later. There's a lot of activity there. So looking into this bed here, it's not at its best at the moment, but you can see it's showing signs. We've got crocuses, we've got hellebora, we've got heathers, polyanthus, primulas, daffodils, all sorts of other bits and bobs in there. And then quick look under the fruit tree. This is beginning to look quite nice now, and you can see that we've got crocuses and polyanthus, primulas. We've got tulips, which are all coming up, so they're quite early. And over here, this is one of the beds what I just planted some of the leftovers from last year in here. Some pansies, and I put daffodils in here. You can see they're all starting to form. One or two oh, I've forgotten the name. Never mind. Right, unfortunately this bed got this bed my dog Lady got into, and she had a good dig. I forgot about I'd let her in the garden because we have to supervise, and that's basically what happens, folks. Nothing's left, so that's going to have to be worked on. I never did get around in the autumn to actually finishing the tidy up of the bottom here, but there's lots of different plants which will be coming back in here. I didn't actually get around to sowing new lot of bulbs, so it might be a bit poorer. Having said that, I can see there's quite a few tulips and some daffodils coming at the back there, so it might not be a total disaster. So that's going to be a job what I need to work on. Feel a bit ashamed showing you it, but I think it's only fair that you see the good and the bad. And this bed is one of the beds where my dog tends to wee on, so nothing's kind of grown much on there, apart from the crocuses which are starting to come through. So we've lost a few things in there, and this is another bed where my dog happened to get into, But having said that, there was nothing in it, so it didn't matter. And what I've been doing is emptying some of my pots with my strawberries, which have kind of not, you know, they've had it. So that soil's gone in there, and I'm gradually filling it up. And that one's waiting to be filled up. And this is going to happen soon. And then I'm going to plant. I'll be putting things in. Initially, I'm going to plant some more daffodils in here, because I've got about another 150 left, which are shooting, so they can go in, and that will give us some colour. Down here we've got the oriental poppy growing. There's another one there. There's two. We've also got one down the back here, which is a bit more sheltered now. We've protected it from the doggy, and we've got another one over at the back there. We've got a hollyhock growing over there, and you can see we've got tulips and that coming along the side there. And then these at the end here are clematis, which are looking a bit sorry for themselves. It looks as though we lost the one over there, and that one's died back. So we've kind of had a few issues with that. The strawberries are all not looking too bad. Well, they're not looking, to be honest with you, they're not looking too good either. But I've got some to replace some of these, so I'm not too fussed. And obviously the tunnel's over there, which isn't being used at the minute, because I've got a couple of compute tables what I need to get rid of, and nobody seems to want them. I'm trying to give them away. So that's it, folks. And apart from that, we've got these 30 tubs waiting here to be filled with for the potatoes. But there's nothing urgent about that. That's March time when that'll get done. And as I say, it's looking a bit of a mess. It needs a good tidy up. Okay, thanks for watching.